Okay, so let's get into this. You gave us this source material on the NTI EFACSP Fingerprint Access Control System.
Yeah.
Our mission here is to really cut through the tech specs and figure out what makes this particular biometric device tick and, what justifies that $340 price tag.
Exactly. I mean, for that price, you're expecting more than just a simple door lock.
And the hook seems to be how fast it works. We're talking single touch, 1-second recognition.
Right, and it uses this really durable optical sensor, but that speed is only half the story. The back-end system has to be smart.
That's what I was thinking. So when we do a deep dive like this, we're looking past the blinking light on the wall.
Absolutely. We're asking, what can it remember? This system stores up to 600 fingerprint templates, which is a pretty solid user base.
600 is decent, yeah.
But the really fascinating part, I think, is the audit power. It keeps detailed logs of up to 15,000 transactions.
Whoa, hold on. 15,000 for a single door reader, isn't that a bit of overkill?
You'd think so, but it's all about accountability. That data capacity is what pushes this device from just security into sophisticated logging, into compliance.
Okay, that makes sense.
And you see that clearly when you look at the software. It comes with a dual package. First, you get the standard access control software.
Right, for managing users, sensor settings, that kind of thing.
But the real insight, the real power, comes from the second piece of software, the attendance management software.
Ah, so that's the part that turns this from a simple scanner into an actual HR tool, right?
Precisely. You can set up complex employee schedules, then use the very same system to monitor and download all the access logs.
So if there's an audit or any question about who was on site and when,
You have up to 15,000 indisputable records to back you up. It's basically an HR safety net disguised as a security device.
so the software side is robust.
Yeah.
What about the physical device? How does it integrate with equipment you might already have in a building?
That is arguably its biggest strength. I mean, it has built-in serial, USB, and Ethernet ports.
So all the modern standards, TCP/IP, USB.
All of them. RS-232, RS-485 for longer runs or legacy systems, you're covered. But the real game changer here is the WIGAN compatibility.
WIGAN. Okay, for our listener, that's kind of the universal language for security panels, isn't it?
It is. It's the standard. And this supports both 26-bit and 34-bit WIGAN input and output.
So you don't have to rip out your entire existing infrastructure just to add a new fingerprint reader.
Not at all. It can talk to a control panel from 2005 just as easily as a brand new one. Plus, it's not just fingerprints. You can use compatible EM cards or key fobs too. It's very versatile.
Let's talk about where you can put it then. If it's a workhorse, it needs to be tough. The source material says it's tamper-proof and has an IP65 rating.
And that IP65 rating isn't just a number on a spec sheet. It means you can mount this thing outside, on a loading dock, whatever. It's protected against jets of water and, all the dust that comes with a work site.
And it handles a pretty extreme temperature range, too.
It does. From a freezing 14 degrees Fahrenheit all the way up to a blazing 140.
I also saw it's TAA compliant. Now, that's a big deal. That changes the market for this, doesn't it? We're not just talking about small businesses anymore.
That is a fantastic point. TAA compliance makes it eligible for U.S. government contracts. So when you add in the CE, FCC, and RoHS certifications, you have this total peace of mind on the regulatory front.
And it does all this on very little power.
Very little. Just 200 mA at 12 volts DC. Super efficient.
So to sum it up, the NTI EFACSP is this comprehensive low-power tool. It merges physical access, deep HR logging, and really broad integration.
That's a perfect summary.
Okay, so let's end with a final thought for you to consider. If a single device can hold a detailed history of 15,000 movements, what does that level of granular data imply for your own policies? Not just for security, but for workflow, for efficiency, and even for liability. It's not just a log, it's a definitive operational record. Something to think about.